I reckon Zero have pretty much the most exhaustive range of electric motorcycles on the market at the moment. They've got the FX Trail Bike, the FXS Supermoto, the kind of dual sport DS and DSR, which also come in an adventure spec as the DSR Black Forest, the midweight Naked S and SR, and their SRF Naked Superbike. Elsewhere, Lightning are developing their electric sports bikes, and Energica's EVA SA 9 has some luggage options, but it seems like there's a gap in the market for a quick bike with decent wind protection that can also carry a weekend's worth of gear. But this could be about to change with a Zero SRF with full fairing and luggage spotted testing out on the streets of California, close to Zero's headquarters. There's only one shot with what looks like a camera phone, and I don't have the rights to use it, so you'll have to check the link in the description to the article on asphalt and rubber to see it. But it's pretty clear that it's the SRF, so what have Zero got in store? I've ridden the SRF earlier this year and it's an absolute blast. It's capable of 110 horsepower and a huge 190 Newton meters of torque, which is produced right from the bottom of the rev range, and it combines it with a decent spec of suspension and brakes, as well as much better ergonomics for me than their previous bikes. I also think it's their best looking bike to date, with a Ducati-esque headlight and trellis frame and an aggressive stance that looks just right for a powerful naked bike. Adding a fairing certainly makes sense from a business perspective. It's a relatively small adaptation whilst allowing them to enter a whole new segment of motorcycling. Most manufacturers get their value for money on R&D costs by creating a naked and faired version of a given bike, such as the Kawasaki Z650 and Ninja 650, or Ducati's Panigale V4 and upcoming Street Fighter V4. So it's no big surprise to see Zero follow suit, and this faired bike has been rumoured before the SRF was even officially unveiled itself. As for the luggage, the only bike I've seen Zero offer with panniers and top box so far is the DSR Black Mountain, which comes with a set made by Givi. I haven't seen anything for the SRF from Zero or third-party manufacturers either, so they must be a new offering. Perhaps it's because it might come across as a bit of a contradiction to some bikers. The most common question I get on my videos with electric motorcycles are about range, so kitting a bike out with touring luggage might seem optimistic and like Zero haven't thought it through. But is this skepticism well founded? Zero say that the SRF will do 160 miles in the city owing to the stop-start nature of urban riding, presumably in their eco mode, which gives the mildest power delivery. However, at a constant motorway speed of 70 miles an hour, it'll give you just 82 miles of range. The premium SRF costs an extra couple of grand than the base model, but comes with the 6 kilowatt supercharger as standard, which means a 95% charge is possible in an hour as opposed to 2. So realistically, combined with the 82-mile highway range, you'd be looking at alternating an hour on the bike and then an hour off charging if you were attempting to travel as far as possible in a day. This isn't specific to Zero. Ewan McGregor and Charlie Borman's upcoming Long Way Up TV series has surprised plenty of people by opting to use Harley-Davidson's electric, the Livewire, albeit with some touring adaptations like a screen, luggage and bar mitts. The crew have been spotted with 4 bikes, some electric support vehicles and some sprinter vans, so presumably they'll be riding 2 of the bikes whilst the other 2 are being replenished with mobile chargers in the van in order to keep riding throughout the day. But back to the Zero, perhaps the fairing being tested will enhance the range of the SRF by improving its aerodynamics, thus turning it into a more viable touring machine. EV news website Electrek points out that the Lightning Strike sports bike has 28% more range than the SRF with just 4% more battery capacity. Although there are plenty of other factors at play, the fairing could make a decent contribution. But even if Zero managed to add another 20 miles, is 100 on the motorway enough for serious tourists to swap their petrol bikes that can be filled and ready to go in seconds? For some people it might be. If you're keen on a cleaner form of transport, you might be willing to take your time and plot your route between charges rather than smash out a huge mileage every day. And there are plenty of other uses for this bike than big mile touring. Anyone who has a motorway commute might appreciate the cover from the fairing, as well as the luggage for a nicely pressed shirt and some sandwiches. It could also be a great machine for some back road fun, but with enough storage to pop to the shops. Either way, I'm keen to see what comes from Zero. After how much I enjoyed the naked SRF, I'd certainly like to take one for a spin if they do come to the market. What do you guys think? Will it sell well, or is range just too limited by battery tech at the moment for electrics to be a viable sports tourer? And what else would you like to see Zero do with this platform? They don't have a cruiser or bobber, nor a big adventure bike. Let me know your ideas in the comments below, and if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe and I'll see you next time.